Hey, my name is Simon and I'm fixing up this $1 boat to sail around the world and I need a new engine. I yanked out the old one and now I'm shopping for a new one. We're driving into Victoria today to look at an engine. There is a Nissan SD33. It's a naturally aspirated 3.3 liter, 6-cylinder, non-turbocharged, mechanically injected diesel. It's like chef's kiss, perfect. It's got low hours. The only thing I don't love about it is it's 94 horsepower instead of the 120 that my boats usually came with. And it's also got dry cylinder walls, or cylinder liners, which is not as good as a wet cylinder liner. But everything else, perfect. And the price is right at only $4,500 asking. But we're gonna go see Raymond in his yard. He's got quite a few other engines lying around that all need work. I expect this thing not to be perfect, but at $4,500, hey. It's worth a look, right?
That's a boat.
That's boats. This little wooden skiff was used to transport electricians for the Canadian Navy, and it was called Sine Wave. This thing was built sometime in the late 80s, and it sports a Nissan SD33 from 1988. The boat might have been repowered. I'm not sure if this was the original power plant, but I am seriously considering this engine. It strikes a lot of the compromises that work in my favor. If you're going to build a sailboat to sail around the world, you want an engine that is both reliable, affordable, but also the parts have to be available. And this engine has that in spades. Of the 60 engines I considered for this project, this engine was in the bottom 3 for the price of the parts. The pistons are sleeved and they're under square, so it is rebuildable, but also it revs low and clocks really high hours. Most of these engines get well into the 10,000 hours before they require a rebuild. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I might not be giving enough throttle. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The engine is a little underpowered, but it makes all the torque in all the right places. It's naturally balanced because it's a 6-cylinder and there's no turbocharger, no common fuel rail, no intercooler, no complexity whatsoever. This thing is bone stock simple, cheap, and it should be pretty damn good on gas. I'm thinking this might be my strongest suit yet, but it's ugly as sin. So included in this sale would be the gearbox, the engine with motor mounts.
Anything, that and any. Okay, you see the brake cord there? That's just a water separator, but some have the filter in them, some not. Okay. But I would give that whatever you needed would go with it. That way you have a a kit, right?
I don't really need that, but I will need a control panel.
Oh yeah, that goes with it. How far is your start station from your motor where you are? Like the harness length?
I'll definitely have to make it a bit longer.
Yeah.
What's the story on why there's no coolant in the engine right now?
Because these gaskets have shrunk and it just oozed out. That's why it fit. All these hoses. Right? I think what the guy was going to do was change all that hose and all that shit and go through this, and it never happened.
Okay.
So when it came here, I could see antifreeze in the header tank, but even that's gone, probably because of all this segmented heat exchanger.
Okay, forgetting. Oh, this alternator on the front, is that an alternator or a generator?
It should be an alternator.
Okay. Or this engine's only lived in this boat?
Yeah, that's it.
There's no other...
They actually built this boat at Dockyard. They built 3 of these.
Okay.
And they did a wooden boat course, my dad said, for a bunch of guys came from Northwest Territories and the Yukon, and they did these boat building courses and built 3 of these boats. Ooh. So the other 2 boats went up north, and they kept this one for the yard.
How attached are you to the 4500 you asked?
Close, because I have to deal with the rest of this boat.
Yeah.
I give you a better deal if you, but you get the boat with it. So it's your call.
I'm not so keen on that. It's not a brand new engine or anything. I'm definitely gonna. But it sounds to me like I'm not doing any internal engine work,
Yeah,
which is nice.
what it is, you would just do,
But I'm doing almost everything on the exterior though.
Clean everything. Do a water pump, all the gaskets,
stuff in the back, all
thermostat,
the hoses,
all the hose. Oh yeah. Hey.
Tire stripped down and paint and clean, but hopefully not anything internal.
It's a 45 kilowatt genset.
Oh,
and it used to be in a Coast Guard lighthouse, and so I guess they wanted more power because it's usually they always do 90 or 100 kilowatt.
Yeah. Foot-pounds of torque at 1500 RPM, which is...
Yeah, how big is that prop?
This prop is got a 1 1/8 inch prop shaft, so it's not going to fit mine, but it's got the numbers right here.
Yeah.
18 diameter, 14 pitch.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On a 1 1/8 shaft.
Yeah.
Vessel calling hello, do you need assistance? Station calling hello, do you need assistance? Do you need assistance? What about you, buddy? Do you need assistance? Oh.
All right, we went to go look at the engine. Now, I didn't even have a picture of this thing before we went to go see it, so I didn't know what I was going to go look at. I knew that any diesel engine that's being pulled out of a boat, it's going to be ugly. I knew that the exhaust riser was toast, but what we found there was that the water circulation pump was completely seized, and there's no fluids in the engine block at all, which means the heat exchanger, best case scenario, the heat exchanger is where it's leaking, but there is a possibility that it's leaking internally as well, or there's cracks in the block or something. It's not 100% sure that it's just the heat exchanger. So yeah, kind of not ideal. I was kind of hoping to have water circulating through that engine block when we fired it up. If everything is perfect the way that it looks right there, we're still looking at stripping that engine right down to the block. The block and the head. Hopefully we won't have to do head gasket or rings or valves or lower bearings or anything like that. But you still have to do fuel pump, water circulation, the raw water pumps, the alternator, like everything, and the whole exhaust scenario. So it's not going to be no work at all. But it's a strong contender. I'm not feeling like 1,000% about it though. I don't know.
It's a little scary.
Just gonna shop around still a little bit.
It was kind of just the smoke coming out of the
Oh,
sailboat was kind of like.
But I knew that I knew it was gonna be a smoky show because there's no riser, right? So obviously it's gonna be smoky. Even less hours than I thought.
Very dramatic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the smoke wasn't blue smoke, which is good. It was white smoke. It was just fuel smoke.
Yeah.
Unburned fuel, and it went away right away.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's good. So it's clean, burning clean, as far as the diesel's concerned. So
it didn't sound horrible, but it definitely looks intimidating, especially being surrounded by that completely rotten wooden boat as well.
Oh jeez.
Okay, and we are here to buy a brand new engine.
I'll never get the like rattle can painting, all of the wires and hoses and everything. That doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, it's a great engine. The 105T would be the one I would be looking for at Beta Marine. That's $40,000. And we don't have that kind of money, so we're going to get a used one. Okay, I'm 2 months in on this research, and I've talked to hundreds of people, it feels like, about different varying engines and various degrees of disrepair. I think I might get that Nissan. Now, before you blow up in the comments about your particular engine that you think is best engine, I have done enough research now that I can find the Achilles heel of every single one of these engines. Every engine is a compromise. No engine is perfect on this list. I have a list of over 60 engines that I've been considering, and none of them are perfect. Any one of them have a flaw, and if you know your engine well enough, you know what that flaw is. And it's also going to vary depending on who's buying it for what application. So, like, by all means, blow up the algorithm, leave the comments about your best engine is best engine. But the reason I want to go with this Nissan is, A, it is sleeved, though dry sleeved, but those sleeves are funny. If you're Australian, you know these engines probably. They have these weird screw-in dry sleeves. They allow you to rebuild the engine in situ in my engine bay without having to take it to a machine shop, but also I don't have to worry about leaks of wet liners, which can happen. That doesn't happen that often, but it can happen. I like that it's not turbocharged. I like, obviously, not intercooled. I like that it's a 6-cylinder that's well balanced, and I like that it's only 3.3 liters of displacement, which means it is quite good on fuel. And I also really like that this engine only has 700 hours on the clock, which means I probably don't need to rebuild this engine maybe ever, which is great. But I seriously don't need to look at rebuilding this engine for the next dozen years, which is fantastic. However, her external parts need work. The fueling system is going to need a complete overhaul and cleanup. The cooling system is going to need a new circulation pump. You know, I bet you a ton of that stuff leaks. And there is still the risk that I could have, bad compression. I could have a cracked block. I could have a lot of things I don't know about. And I just have to roll the dice, I guess, at this point. I'm going to try my best. And I'm going to go through this engine and make sure it's good before I put it in the boat. But, you know, it's always going to be a bit of a gamble. Now, there are those great things. Now, there's a couple of things that make it not so great. I'm having a hard time finding the elbow for this thing right now, which isn't a huge deal because I can fabricate one of those. They're not that complicated to make. So, you know, that's okay. The other parts are all quite cheap for this, but the marinization of these motors is not that common. Now, luckily, they were marinized from a foundry based in Vancouver, which is great. So there should be some parts, and I'm not done my research there. Hopefully I'll find something. Secondly, it's a little tiny bit underpowered. It has the right torque at only 1500 RPM, which is fantastic, but 94 horsepower is a solid 36 horsepower less than the Volvo made, and 26 horsepower less than the Lehman that would have originally come in the boat. So is that going to hurt me? I don't know. It has the same torque. So I'm hoping that this means that I'll have the same cruising speed, but less top speed, which means it'll incentivize me to sit at cruising speed all the time, which I think might be really great for the fuel economy. I think it might be the perfect compromise. And I plan to put a hybrid drive in this boat and have an electric motor to supplement the diesel, completely separate systems. And this lets me add, 30 horsepower to my diesel and therefore, make the best of both worlds. So I roped up my buddy Rishi and we're going to go pick up a diesel engine. Let's do it. You roll up just as I'm filming the bit about why I'm buying this engine.
Oh, really?
You excited to see the Nissan Golden Nugget?
No.
Okay.
I'm excited to hang out with you.
The Nissan Nugget. All right, yeah, he's stoked. He's so stoked. He loves it.
Oh, there you go. Now it's recording. It was probably one of these. There's probably an
all
air.
these Fords. Too many Fords.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
That's too many gosh darn Fords.
Oh, wow. He's got
It's kind of crazy to be buying a dilapidated, crappy engine and then tuck it in the back of this fucking crazy truck.
yeah, he's got like a old Sailboat or something. A McHappy.
There it is. There's my girl.
Oh, look at that. Okay, what I did, I sprayed it with Build's Cleaner and I rinsed it off.
Nice.
Now it's white all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, it's light gray. It's
Light.
navy, right?
Right. Oh, looks good.
So,
Oh, Nissan Nugget.
and
There we go.
so over here. So
Yeah.
there's one to the cooler, and then the return is there, back
Okay.
into the block, one or the other.
Yeah.
This might be an internal oil cooler. Like that could be the factory one.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so now what they've done, they just added that one. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
you'll have
okay,
to
I'll
look
have to
on,
look into that.
Yeah, you'll have to look into that. Maybe that's. Okay, now, is that? Fucking taller than I thought. Okay, you got a 2x4 for the front?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, I'm just unhooking all of this stuff.
What do you think? You got a new engine? Yeah, she's mint. Look at her. Gorgeous. Ignore all the rust and the blown out elbow and the seized water pump and the
Yeah, it looks
It'll
great.
be fine. The Nissan Nugget. Nothing wrong with that. Whatever. It's a good engine, I think. It'll be a great engine when I'm done.
Cool.
Now the engine's at my shop, I can finally stop with all the research and just get down to work on this engine. First things first, we're going to try and diagnose the coolant leaking issue. We're going to figure out what's going on with our compression ratios, check that over before we strip down the engine, strip down the fueling system, the cooling system, replace all the gaskets, get everything sanded down and get a fresh coat of paint on this thing before it makes its way back to the boat. It's going to be a few episodes on this one. It's not going to be quick, but in the end, we'll have a really good, really reliable engine that I can continue to work on and maintain for decades to come. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
See, this thing weighs 300 pounds less than the engine I took out of it, which weighs 700 pounds less than the engine that these were originally launched with. This thing weighs less than 1/2 of the engine that this boat was originally launched with. Isn't that crazy? It's only 700 pounds. The original one was 1,700 pounds. Yeah.
What was it originally?
Lehman 130, 120 or 120. I think 120 with the gearbox is 1,700 pounds. Nuts.